All right, guys, it's time for TexAgs Rewind. David Nuno here, Nick Savage helping me out. The most impressive thing you heard today was, Nick?
What Kendall Rogers had to say to finish up the show. He's wrestling with Tennessee or A&M as his national championship pick.
Yeah, look, I love it, I need it, and I want it. So that's what I'm going to say. Do I believe it? I think it's certainly possible. Why not?
My second favorite thing was hearing you say purr.
How did I say it?
Gonna have to watch a short about it, I guess.
I mean, was it like purr? Like that? Gary, you got to purr.
Anyways.
You do it. I want Nick to do a purr.
I'm not going to.
Just do one.
Maybe if we hit 10,000 subscribers, I will do the purr.
But just give us a sample. Come on, man.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Just for that, we're going to lose subscribers because you didn't do it, Nick.
No shot.
Yeah. Why? Because you're embarrassed? People are
because it's going to go up to 10,000 because they want to hear me do it. And that's going to keep going to the moon. TexAgs subscribers.
We have this thing. But the people who are watching this are probably subscribers. So you should have said that to the non-subscribers.
Then they need to share with their friends, family, whatever.
Don't we do that at the end of the show?
Well, what's on the show today?
All right. OB, what do you have to do to beat the Hawks? All right, beat those pigs. All right, John Harris, A&M scouting report. We talked about SEC, how it's going to look like in a year, and also what it's going to look like this year with the quarterback changes, coordinator changes, but the following year with the additions of Texas and Oklahoma. Billy Liucci called us immediately after the news broke that the 12th Man Plus Foundation, or their fund, is out, and what that means for A&M and for NIL and recruiting and yada, yada, yada. We did that, and of course, Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, that and more. It is TexAgs Rewind. If I tell you that tonight A&M is going to out-rebound Arkansas and win the turnover battle, and I'd say by significant number, 7-8, do you take that as a sign of victory against Arkansas?
I take it as what, could be factors in that direction. But if I'm not mistaken, and I probably am, but I think A&M might have out-rebounded Arkansas up there.
And they also won the rebounding battle. And that's why that is the very minimal thing you have to do against them to win. So check this out. I was doing a little research this morning. Arkansas has been out-rebounded in 9 out of their last 10 games. They've actually been hot other than what happened the other night against Georgia, or excuse me, Mississippi State.
Yeah.
They've been out-rebounded in 7 in a row. And in that stretch, they're 5-2, including a last-second loss. And they've been out-rebounded by at least 3. So winning the rebounding battle does not necessarily mean success against this team. This team beats you in other ways. They find ways to win games beyond being out-rebounded.
Yeah, and they got their freshman Nick Smith back, and so that's
He's
like
a lottery pick.
Yeah, that's what they say, maybe even as high as number 1.
Yeah.
They say, right?
And they are the internet people.
Right. I'll say this. A&M, get to the free throw line and make 75% of your free throws.
Yep.
But get to the free throw line a lot because in the last 6 games, in the last 5 wins, A&M has shot. Oh, no. In 4 of the last 5 wins, they've made at least 20 free throws.
Mm-hmm.
And they've shot a really good percentage. So you got that's a big part of their game.
Johnny, I want to fast forward your thoughts to 2024 SEC football. Texas and Oklahoma are officially in. What does the league feel like? What does it look like? What's the scheduling? Who's going to make the adjustment quickest? Just kind of give me what you think the SEC will look like in 2024.
Boy, first of all, it starts in scheduling, like how you stick. What are there now? 16 teams. How do you get 16 teams in a conference and make sure that they're all and make it equitable? That I think is the biggest challenge of the SEC right now is how do you make all that equitable? And here's the thing: you look back over time, and just even if you went back the last 5-7 years, Texas, Oklahoma, LSU, A&M, Alabama, Florida, they've all been in the top 10. They've all been playing New Year's Day bowl games. They've all played for national championships. Not all, but a number of them played for national championships. You got 16 teams. You're going to have some of those teams in the bottom half. You're going to have some of those teams that are going to finish 6-6. And it's going to put a lot of pressure on a lot of schools hey, why can't you do what Team X does? I mean, obviously, look at what Jimbo went through last year. And obviously, it was a team that did underachieve. We all saw that. But that's going to happen to a lot of teams and a lot of coaches in the league. What happens if first year in the league, Brent Venables goes 5-7 because Oklahoma isn't quite ready to go in the SEC? Now, I don't think that's the case, but he's going to be out of a job. The expectations are they're going to raise significantly. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing in the conference, which, right now everybody's chasing Kirby at this point. They've been chasing Saban. Can Saban make a late charge and find it again? What does Brian Kelly do at LSU? I think it becomes fascinating with the coaches and the personalities in the conference. And then where the level of expectation is for each team in the conference. So you figure out the schedule, and that I think is going to be interesting because if I'm A&M, I want a piece of Texas every year. Does Texas want a piece of A&M? I don't know. Maybe it does.
Because I do think it's a game changer. Just the ease of donation, the ease of participation. There's no smallest amount or largest amounts, whatever, And I think I think A&M just put the gas pedal to the floor on this one, and I think it'll turn heads around the country. It's not going to be. I don't think you're not going to see A&M paying millions of dollars to kids through. They're not going to tap into the money that's already there. They're only using what's raised from today forward. And I don't think you're going to see kids getting their whole NIL through the 12th man. I think it's going to be what they call fair market value. But it's just another avenue, and I think it can be one that really spans across, like deep into the rosters of some of these sports as well, as they start getting more money. You see these things where every player gets this much money at the school, and that's fine and everything. But I think this is a way that, it doesn't have to be promoted at exactly how much they're going to get. It's just another part of the equation that the athletes know that if they're coming to Texas A&M, there's all kinds of avenues for them to do very well on the NIL front.
There's guys that are going to take a step forward, and there's Trevor Warner, who for now over a year, I've heard Schloss talk about the kind of player that he is and the kind of player he expects him to be.
There's no doubt. He's one of those guys that, we didn't have him ranked as high as we probably wanted to in our prospect rankings going into the season. But I'll tell you what, if he can stay healthy, and that's kind of been the question mark of Trevor for the last couple of years, is can he stay healthy? If he can, not have wrist issues and not get nicked and nacked, throughout the season, he is a player that can be a frontline SEC position player. He can be a frontline SEC and national hitter. It's all there. He's got the size, he's got the tools, he's got the massive raw power. It's all there. He just needs to stay healthy. That's pretty much all it boils down to for me. If he stays healthy, he's going to have a really good year. But the thing I like about this lineup overall is, you lose guys like Dylan Rock, and let's not underestimate Troy Klontz. I think Troy Klontz last year, if you look at the end of last year, his defense, especially his throws the second in the postseason last year, were phenomenal. He had some massive hits for A&M, but what I like about this lineup is, even when you take Troy Klontz and you take Dylan Rock out of the lineup, what do you add? You add a guy in Lavalette who's certainly not as experienced as Dylan Rock. Dylan Rock was a fifth-year senior, but you get a guy who has more raw talent than Dylan Rock, probably has more power than Dylan Rock. And guess what? You throw a young guy like that into a lineup where, you know what, David, like Jace Lavalette doesn't need to hit 370. Like you have a veteran lineup that's going to be loaded top to bottom. If he can go out there as a freshman and hit 275 or 280 with 14, 15 home runs, if you're Jim Schlossnagle, you'll take that every day. So I love the fact they're able to have a talented freshman like that. They're not looking at and going, hey man, we need 18 bombs and we need you to hit 320. Like they don't need that at all, and that's because they have a veteran lineup.
All right, one final chance. Come on, Nick, drop a purr.
Again, 10,000 subscribers, and you will get a purr from me.
But how long of a purr? Because now people are really.
It'll be a good purr. It'll be worth it.
Like, what kind of voice do you think you would use if you were to do it? If we get to
David, that gives it away. I can't do that.
No. Okay, if you did it with a Spanish accent purr, do that one.
Brr.
That's terrible.
That sounded like Perry the Platypus from Phineas and Ferb, if you've ever seen that show.
Yeah, my kids have. Wow, you really did a Latino purr. That was great.
I can roll my R's.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Can you do a French purr?
I don't know what that sounds like, to be honest with you.
Russian purr?
No, I don't. I can't tell you what that is.
An A-leaf purr.
Can you tell me what that is? Example, please.
Purr.
Nice.
I don't know. That was like Randy Macho Man Savage. Sorry, show's off the rails. Thank you so much for watching.